Jedi Survivor is honestly a bit of a mixed bag for. I found a lot of parts about it valuable, but there are a lot of things that I think just didn't mesh well. Aside from the performance problems that obvious ones a lot of people experienced, especially on PC. And I played on PC. I was one of the lucky ones that I very rarely had any issues. I had maybe some stuttering frame rate drops, but as a whole, I was able to complete that game without much incident. I will say that I had decent amount of crashes. I think my game had crashed about 10, 15 times during my 30-hour playthrough. I think they improved on almost everything that I had complaints about first game, Fallen Jedi Fallen Order, whatever it used that name. But I felt the first one very briefly. Um, I felt that it was conflicted. Like, tried to do everything, just copying things from other genres, but it didn't do any of it as well as any of the other games it would copy. Like Dark Souls like Soulsborne games or Metroidvanias. I found a lot of it just didn't feel as good as played any of those other games, respective genres. So this game, I think Respawn has finally understood what they excel at. And for me, the best part about this game is traversal, the movement, the exploration. Very good. I really liked exploring the nooks and crannies. Crannies? Yeah. Anyway, I liked exploring the different caves and seeing what's there. And, just they stuffed all these different planets full of things that it's just packed with so many rewards that truthfully I don't find many of the rewards compelling. The only ones I found compelling were the actual upgrades to your character, like health upgrades, force upgrades, and things like that. This game does not offer ponchos, so if you're upset about that, I'm sorry, but that's only Fallen Order now. So they've replaced it with, you could customize your lightsaber once again, change the colors, everything that, and now you can customize how your Cal Kestis. So you could change his beard, his haircut, clothes, his color of his clothes, etc. But it always felt when I got those upgrades sometimes, and I got like say like handlebar mustache for, I just never felt excited about it. And maybe in the future last game they do, they could make something more compelling for me personally. But I think they did it make an improvement to for people to go out of their way to complete these challenges or environmental puzzles that I've gotten a real strong vibe of games like God of War game. I suppose that's popular right now, are those kinds of narrative focused third person action games. But I do think this is a good game. I will say that
I'll check it out.
I was really interested in the first few hours of the game, story wise. I think it was exciting. But then it reaches a point where while you're exploring one of the first planets you encounter, and just don't know where the story is going. It kind of just meanders, and once it starts going, I never found the antagonist compelling. It's very obvious where they were trying for his arc was going, and maybe they weren't trying to hide that. But I didn't find him interesting. Oh, he's another this kind of person. Okay, he's probably gonna act like this. So. Maybe I'm expecting too much from Star Wars game. It has been a while since just Star Wars fans have had a very good, and I want to say it's probably been Knights of the Old Republic era of Star Wars that we've had that. Star Wars has had it rough for a while. Not just movies and games. They went through the EA Battlefront 1 and Battlefront 2 and all stuff that happened with those games. So then when you got Fallen Order, it was a breath of fresh air.
That's one less tale to worry about.
But it was just mediocre best. So I'm glad that they took a lot of feedback, improved upon their first game. But I think there's a lot they could improve from this game. That it's not perfect by any. Just not even talking about technical. My problems are story isn't very interesting. I mean, the story is good for a Star Wars game, but it's not great for all kind of video game stories you can find. It's a bit run-of-the-mill. And I do like the character interactions. I think they did a good job on that. But honestly, the best writing in that game has been the droids, actually. I think there's definitely some of the more memorable and interesting and funny dialogue that they've come up with. But I think this is a step in the right direction for them, and I am interested in seeing what their supposedly last game series would be if they do make it. Because I think now that I want them to just go double down on their mobility, because Respawn is known for that. Titanfall 2 and Apex Legends are fast-paced. Ability and sense of versatile it's on point. It's very good. Makes you feel, just like a badass. So I think they went in the right direction. I love zipping around the game, going from platform to platform, having all these abilities at your disposal, zip through places. And yeah, it's a very good game. I'm glad it's received well for that, but also the performance issue. I wish it didn't have to be like that. That it's such a problem. That it's a shame. And it's a bigger issue of the game industry in general, right? Because more and more of these games are released late, and this is not the first time. It's just become a trend, especially for PC. So when it just actively interferes with people's enjoyment. I think that is a problem that I hope they will fix, but don't release like this. Don't take advantage of people's goodwill and just you're taking weeks to months to fix this fully, and maybe a year. And by then, will people be interested by then? You know, first impressions are important. So you have all these issues just pop up and can't enjoy it. It really does sour people's opinion on it. I think overall, it is the best Star Wars game in over a decade, which is not saying much, frankly, because there has not been that many Star Wars games, not mobile games. And I wish there were more of it, and I wish they would take more risks, because this, at times, it did feel like a safe game. It did feel like they were trying to play it safe. And one of my issues also is force powers. I don't feel like there's enough variety of it, and when you do use force powers, they are meant to support you in battles, not to be the premier, like, what you could be using build. No, you're mostly going to be meleeing, going to be whacking with a lightsaber. Because most of the upgrades are just, okay, now I have force pull, force push. Okay, now I can upgrade it to an AoE ability. And then I have a mind control ability. And that's about it. Then you have an ultimate time down for 1 or 2 hits. I feel like creatively they could have done something more with the powers, because I think they're, you know, from previous Star Wars games, there's a wide variety of powers you can. So it does feel like at times it is playing safe, but overall, I am mostly happy with it. I'm mostly happy with how it turned out. But can I recommend it right? And the answer, no. Not. I cannot in good conscience recommend this game. The state that it's in. The technical disaster that may or may not be able to even run it well.
Focus.
And I hope they fix it, just like I've said. I am looking forward to the next one. And I do think they found themselves, you know, a little niche for them that nobody else can claim. I just hope the next game not end up with this many technical pieces wrong. Because there's a limit for how many times people like to put up with it. Should know when to just not speak. And once they fix all these issues, then I could say, play it. Should play it. It's one of the better Star Wars games that come out, and you will have a good time.